that turned out to matter enormously. Construct a fully consistent scenario of first contact. Account for the Fermi paradox. Stay inside known physical laws. Incorporate the actual probable distribution of habitable planets we now have data for, and assume at least one civilization in the Milky Way achieved interstellar communication capability somewhere in the past billion years of cosmic history. This is the kind of constrained reasoning that researchers like Stuart Russell at the University of California, Berkeley have written about for years. In his 2019 book, Human Compatible, Russell argued that the real challenge of advanced artificial intelligence is not malice, but what happens when you give a system an objective and watch it pursue that objective in ways you never anticipated. Kovacs and her colleagues were watching exactly that, in real time, on their own screens. Hours of iterative refinement passed inside that quiet room. The output Gork eventually produced did not resemble anything the team had ever seen from any language model in their careers. It was internally consistent across every layer of reasoning, grounded in physics rather than imagination, and it described a version of first contact that bore almost no resemblance to anything in our cultural imagination of how aliens might one day reveal themselves to us. No spacecraft, no radio messages, no benevolent emissaries waiting for humanity to mature into a worthy conversations partner. There was something else, and the moment the team understood what it was, the experiment became impossible to walk away from. Whatever Gork was about to lay out would force them to ask whether the entire history of our search had been pointed at the wrong target the whole time. The passive saturation model. So here is what landed on Kovacs' screen at almost 2 in the morning, and here is why nobody in that room could speak for a moment. Gork proposed something the team came to call the passive saturation model. Stay with this, because the core claim is uncomfortable in a way that takes a second to absorb. Any civilization capable of detecting Earth has almost certainly known we are here for a very long time. The reason we have not detected them in return is not because they are hiding from us. It is because their methods of observation are so far beyond our current technology that we lack the conceptual framework to recognize what we are looking at, even when it is sitting in front of us. It wasn't hiding. It was never hidden. Think about what that actually means. In this model, a sufficiently advanced civilization does not need to send spacecraft or beam radio signals or build the kind of giant artifacts our own searches have been hunting for over the past 60 years. Instead, it embeds monitoring systems inside the structure of natural phenomena themselves. Gravitational waves moving through space-time, the distribution of cosmic rays striking planetary atmospheres, quantum-level fluctuations that permeate the physical environment everywhere we look. To us, those systems would not appear as technology at all. They would appear as natural physics, part of the fabric of the universe that scientists already measure and classify as background radiation or quantum noise, without ever realizing what they are reading. And here is what should bother you. This idea is less wild than it sounds. Humanity already embeds information into physical channels in increasingly subtle ways. Global positioning systems rely on extraordinarily weak signals spread across the sky in patterns most people never notice. Undersea internet cables that carry the bulk of global communications look indistinguishable from ordinary strands of glass. If a civilization were millions of years ahead of us, the question is not whether they could encode information into the environment around them. The question is how far beyond our imagination that capacity would extend. If the idea that the evidence might be hiding in plain sight is the kind of question that keeps you up at night, subscribe and stay with this channel. We follow these threads wherever the data leads, and the deeper we go, the stranger the picture becomes. There is also genuine evidence that this kind of camouflage is the natural endpoint of technological development for any species that survives long enough to reach it. Earth itself is becoming radio quiet. A team of astronomers led by Michael Garrett at the University of Manchester published a paper in the monthly notices of the Royal Astronomical Society in 2023, modeling Earth's mobile tower emissions, as seen from nearby stars. Their conclusion was that broadband digital signals and satellite-relayed communications are dramatically harder to detect at interstellar distances than the analog broadcasts of the 20th century. The window during which Earth was loud, roughly the 1930s through the 1990s, was only about 60 years out of a planetary history measured in billions. By the time